What up, family? Back up in this joint, baby. What's up? Welcome to the channel. If you're here for the first time, please like the video. I know you haven't seen it, but please still like it. Join the family. Please subscribe to the channel. But Michelle Obama. You think Michelle Obama and Barack Obama is getting a divorce? I mean, this day and age, I'd have put nothing past anybody. But who knows? I mean, I hope not. I hope not. I really do. I hope not. But however, it's still, when you're in that function, that type of hierarchy of life, it's certain things you have to abide by. And I don't think Michelle wants to abide by any of those rules no more. But we got let me show you guys. We got Corey Holcomb and his panel of of a conversationalist have some opinions. So let's take a look, give our just take a look, and we're gonna look at it and see what they talk about. They said Barack and Michelle will eventually divorce for this reason. So let's take a see what Corey's talking about.
To spend the back half of my life trying to get a to respect me.
Oh Lord.
Hillary look like George Washington now. She didn't really got presidential looking, man.
Trump wife right there by his side. You can say whatever you want to say. Hillary Clinton right there with Bill, and Bill had God, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Bill had a cigar. The Bush wife is right there.
Yeah.
She ain't even got the shot. Mo, you can look at him and tell. You're like, just rub my back till I go to sleep. Where is the wife? You were wrong. You were wrong for not being there. Crazy world, man. It's so obvious what's happening, man. It's so obvious what's happening. We get no respect at all, and we are the original man. They have set it up where our women don't like us. I ain't got no shame to say that because
Corey be keeping it real. I mean, take it how you want to take it. I mean, he right. For what he just said is that if you guys familiar with Michelle Obama not going to the inauguration with Donald Trump, somebody else had a funeral, whatever funeral that was. It's a few events that Michelle didn't show up for, and then Barack showed up by himself. Number one, he was the president, and you was the first lady. You guys were one when you went into that endeavor. So events like that, you should show up. You should show up. I mean, I understand today is a different day and time. It's a different day and time. And people just doing the most different stuff. I know there's not a word, but still, it's so different. You know what I'm saying? It's so different because as I'm talking, I'm thinking about like traditional type stuff, and a lot of the things that we did traditionally were not right. But it's just certain things that you hold at a higher regard than others traditionally, and I think that the presidency is one of them. You talk about a black man for the most part was able to make it to be a president for 2 terms with an all-black family, and his wife doesn't show up to these other presidential type events. And all right, let's finish. Let me let Corey tell you, all right, and his folks, because they really hit on some stuff here.
I watch it. They have set it up. Do you really think about that? I don't care what turmoil Hillary Clinton has had with Bill Clinton. Right. They together, am I right?
Right.
Right.
That has some them glasses.
Only see by itself.
Yeah.
It's a symbol of America.
Dude, George W. was president for 8 years. 8 years. I don't even know his wife's name. What was it, Abigail or some shit?
I don't know her name either.
No clue. Donald Trump's wife stands behind him like a giant meerkat. Like Bill Clinton was president. His wife never shut up. I want to do health care. Around on her so much, he's like, all right, whatever, just do it.
Just do health care.
Like I said, try your best to make her happy. Try your best. But here's one thing nobody tells you. You can't make a woman happy. It's impossible. It's impossible.
how he's now in a deep deficit with Michelle Obama after serving 2 terms in the White House. Now, I've heard Michelle Obama previously talk about how, there was times where she really did not like him, especially when he became president.
I've never met a happy woman in my.
This is the problem I got. Why do we know this? 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 You never hear Nancy Reagan or the Bushes or the Clintons talking about this stuff. Unless, of course, if it's a scandal with the Clintons, whatever. But the whole point of the matter is that you never hear them talking about this. Why when it come to us, it's always some extra crap. You feel me? That pisses me off, man. It's really disheartening. You know what I'm saying? It really is. It's like we just... A scene was planning and we just can't get. I just hate to say we, but some folk just can't get right. I don't understand it, and that really, 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 really chats my heart, buddy. What? All right, sorry, y'all. Okay.
My life. Women always complaining about something. Should women like to complain? Women save up to complain about.
And they worked through it. But he says, Obama said, so I've been trying to dig myself out of that hole by doing occasionally fun things.
No matter what you do, a woman is mad at you because you ain't her first choice.
Like Jimmy Carter funeral.
Yes. So according to TMZ, they say in March alone, we saw Barack at the Los Angeles Clippers game.
Oh, he was at the game. She wasn't there.
She wasn't there. Out to dinner in LA without Michelle and Jimmy Carter's funeral.
Not the funeral.
Or Donald Trump's inauguration. And I said that was an unfair observation because she said she wasn't going to Donald Trump's inauguration because she didn't want to.
She might not be a basketball fan.
Again, they've talked about how the presidency had like a huge impact on their marriage. And I was reading a lot of the interview. He says, let me just say this. It sure helps to be out of the White House and to have a little more time with her.
If you work all the time, why you work all the time? You ain't never home. You always leaving me. I hate this.
A lot of guy friends. I grew up a tomboy, so all my guy friends would come up to me, and they were always saying the same thing. They're always like, I just want to find a chick that's not crazy. That's adorable.
Nuts.
We're all crazy. Right, ladies? Just own your crazy. Own it. It feels good. Yeah, own it. Own that crazy, ladies. It feels so good. It makes your relationship so much easier. When I first got with my boyfriend, I was like, look, there's a good chance I'm going to try to stab you. You're not going to know why. Maybe one day you come in breathing my air. That's how people get stabbed on that day.
If you home all the time, why you all up under me? Let me get some room to breathe. Damn, stop sweating me.
Now, in all, I could see the funeral because you never know when that's going to come up. In other words, that was a date that wasn't like planned. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like the inauguration.
You ain't got nowhere else in this world but standing by your mother and husband's side, especially at something like that, and he was the president. I don't want to hear nothing. Nothing is more important than standing by your husband, and he was the president of this nation at something like that.
That part.
Shut the hell up.
That part. We can talk about this shit all day. I said I was going to stop cussing. We can talk about this stuff all day. You know what I'm saying? But to me, I feel like that's a level of respect. If you guys are not getting divorced, you guys are not on bad terms, this, the other. I don't give a daggum what it is. The respect that you have for your mate, either way, show up. That don't make sense to me. And then it's embarrassing. You're high-profile people, and then one action or inaction from your mate sends the media and the whole world, per se, into like a gossip zone. I mean, they bring you all into your business and shine a flashlight right back on you. That's ignorant. I mean, I don't know what the situation is. We can all just speculate. But for the way it's perceived, and I guess the way that a lot of us African American, black people can't take it, is that, man, can we get they kind of like represented us, you know what I'm saying, as a black family, nice black family that made it and can be, couple goals type situations and family goals type situations. You know what I'm saying? I know nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect at all. But still, it's a level of respect I think that you should have for your mate. Period. Point blank. All right. Let me get back on this.
Wasn't hungry when Obama went to dinner.
But she doing what she want to do, and these are things that she didn't want to do.
Exactly.
So it's like, I said I'm not going, and I'm not.
Shut the hell up.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, just think for a moment who they're actually talking about. The former most powerful man in the world. They're talking about Barack Obama, and they're just pontificating as if Michelle Obama had to sacrifice so much in her life as she took a gamble on this man. Like, she didn't know and understand the potential that he had. Graduated from law school, and they hooked up. Yes, she was making more money than him, but let's keep it a buck. She absolutely knew he was going to be great. He went from state senator to president of the United States in a blink of an eye, and she was there for the ride because not one vote was cast for Michelle Obama.
And I'll say it to you too. Would you be attracted to a guy who's not financially sound when you meet him?
I married one.
But now she's spoken about her marriage to the former US president on the Work in Progress podcast, saying she's in a position to control her own calendar as a grown woman. I chose to do what was best for me, she said. Not what I had to do, not what I thought other people wanted me to do. Although she did admit feeling a bit...
You know the level of disrespect that is to your husband? And also the perception of the disrespect. To me, I think of it as that if you can't support me in my endeavors, I don't give a damn what it is. It could be going to a dog show. If you cannot support me in my endeavors, I don't need you around me. Why are we doing this? Why? I don't understand that. That's just a level. To me, that's a level of disrespect that I just can't overlook. You know what I'm saying? And so if I don't say anything to you right then and there, that means, all right, I'm putting that shit up in my head and I'm just taking notes right now. Because you got until you got 3 strikes and your ass out. But we shouldn't have to think defensively like that. Nobody wants to think defensively like that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to be in a marriage or any relationship defensive all the time. If anything, you want to make sure you guys you together. You want to love each other. That's your person. Come on. I know everybody gets upset, but come on, let's get it together. My goodness, good looking couple. He loves that woman, and I know she loves him too. But the whole thing is that their love can decimate if the respect factor is not there. And I'm sure Barack felt the way, because I would have felt the way. The most powerful man in the world at 2 terms, that popular. And he can't get your wife to come to support you a few times. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not even knocking her for the basketball game. The basketball game could be what it is, you feel me? But at least the inauguration, the president's funeral, Jimmy Carter's president funeral, at least those. Come on now. All right. I'm gonna let them speak on this. I'm gonna get off of it.
guilty about it.
Miss, you need to be more like Michelle Obama has come out to actually speak on the state of her marriage with Barack Obama. And baby, she said, don't worry about it. Mind your business. I'm living for me. And by me, I don't mean we. I did what I needed to support Barack. And now I'm living life on my terms. And if that looks like with or without him, baby, you can be mad at that.
She was supporting him, yes, as every wife should support the person. If the shoe was on the other foot, you think he wouldn't support her? He's never said a bad word about her, but look at her popping up and down saying how much she just hated him for 10 years because the kids were young and he chose to play golf.
And people think I'm being catty by saying this. It's like there were 10 years when I couldn't stand my husband.
And if she says she's not going someplace, well, damn.
10 years. 10 years? You mean you guys had no conversation with her that time? 10 years. Oh, 10 years. I could not be in a situation where my spouse did not like me, and I knew it for 10 years. That's a long time to be with somebody who hated your guts. You know how much discord, how much unraveled disruption of life, of disruption of peace that is? You know what? The reason Barack hair got gray so fast wasn't because of the U.S. presidency, it was because of Michelle. That should have taken you out faster than anything because that's your person and that's the closest one to you. That's who you're most vulnerable to. That'll take you out quickly. And I don't think he adjusted. Actually, he had to. He had to adjust his mental capacity of what he was dealing with from off her to dealing with her to deal with the duties of being president. But in the back of his mind, he still had to make sure that Michelle was happy at night. You know what I'm saying? So that doesn't sound like a good time at all. I wouldn't want to do that. I mean, I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to be with nobody. I'd rather be by my damn self. And that's probably why he went to the game. So of course, we speculate. This is for entertainment purposes only. We just speculating, just observing what they're saying on their podcast. I'm just talking about it. That's it. But they said it. I didn't. Anyway, I'm just messing around. But let's see what else they got to say.
Understand she ain't going. To honor and to hold, love and respect. But these ladies hate the word obey.
You are not solid. You perpetrate like you solid. You're not solid. You sick? You sick? She must be sick.
Something going on.
I'm saying, is she sick?
I hope not, but
if she's sick, that's different. We owe Michelle an apology if she was sick.
Right.
But it ain't no coincidence like that. You see she there holding that?
Right.
The that don't even fuck with. They divided the nation, homie. They had. Now let me say this. They had sisters on the internet turning against their own men.
You know?
do say that. You say 10 years.
And guess when it happened? When those kids were little, right?
Yeah.
Right? Because, you can be all great individually when you're just married. You got your life, he's got his, you come together. It's all, ooh, good to see you, bye, take it easy. And then you have kids.
Not take it easy.
Take it easy, you're traveling, that's great, good. I get to hang out and watch the TV I want to watch.
Right.
But the minute we had kids, it was like, where are you going? And how far? And you start measuring, it's like, how many diapers did you change? And, oh, you're golfing?
But ma'am, how do you think he's able to move up in this world so quickly? How do you think he's able to make these connections? How do you think that business actually works? Men go in casual situations, get to know each other a little better to see if they can trust each other, and then they close the deal.
They like it complaining. They love it. No matter what you do.
Polite savages.
Every single word that came out of Calvin Candy's mouth was nothing but hope. But he was right about one thing. I am that one in 10,000.
Ladies and gentlemen of Polite Savages, we are now about to embark on a journey sure to anger feminists and those modern women alike. And this one's a doozy. We're talking about how they can't get no satisfaction no matter how great the man is. They still find a way to hate, and publicly besmirch their reputation. I mean, damn, the President of the United States can't get a break. What chance do you have? As always, we can only guarantee to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth as we see it. So let's get down, and get up into it. Are you ready? Let's go. This is nothing to do with politics, just dynamics on demand. And I'm not going to be too hard on a lady because at least she's stuck with her man. But when it comes down to it, it's kind of distressing to understand that the most powerful man in the world still faced challenges in this marriage because he was just not available. He was too busy. He was building himself. Men, you have to understand that when you're under this process of building yourself, a lot of ladies, no matter how understanding they claim to be, will never understand. It's not their mission to undertake. It's your mission to take. That's why the weight is oh so heavy. You must do it by yourself. In many cases, the support that everyone thinks you have is not really there. Just surface level BS in order to put on a good face. And it's always hard to see the snakes. The Garden of Eden is ripe with serpents. But what it really comes down to is that if a man has nothing in his life except you, if you're the only thing that he focuses on, if he doesn't have a purpose, then what good is he? A man is not good without a purpose. Even if the purpose is his family, he still has to have an external motivator to take care of his family. You see how the external and internal work together. The symbiotic relationship in men allows us to provide and protect and ascend to the levels that you, ladies, actually will be proud of. Because nobody wants to walk around with a bum on their shoulder. And when they do that, when they walk around with that bum, nothing good comes out of it. But what I really want to break down is that if Barack Obama was having these problems, if he was in such dire straits, if he had to absolutely dig himself out of a hole as the president of the United States of America, as the most powerful man in the world, as somebody who is groundbreaking, a Nobel Peace Prize winner, whether you agree with his politics or not, what I'm saying is that if Barack Obama had to dig himself out of a hole during this time, then what chance do you have? Damn.
Ladies, if you meet a man who doesn't have purpose, who doesn't have something that is priority over his love for you, that is dangerous. That man is dangerous.
That's true.
If you meet a man that's all about you over everything,
not in a good way,
that man is dangerous. See, when you meet a man, you need to have a man who got something going on for himself.
Gentlemen, you are caught in a catch-22. A lady wants you to have all the time in the world to spend with her, to feed her emotional needs, but she also wants you to have that cash, that scratch, that cream, those dollar bills, y'all. What she wants you to be able to do is fund a lifestyle. A lot of these ladies, they are looking for the man on the white horse, but they want it all. And they will never be happy if they cannot have it all. And this is what I mean. Do you know how...
I'm going to stop it right there. This is really making me dizzy. If you think about a relationship and you just generally think of it, you want to be with your person, you want to be happy. Of course, you guys work together to make things work. But it also depends on the person too. There's so many rules, so many regulations, so many nuances that come into play. It is tiring. It makes you not want to do nothing with anybody. It just makes you want to be by yourself and pay for it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. You're doing all this stuff. You're going through all this stress. You're going through all this trouble, all this hassle. And for the most part, none of it benefits you. I'm talking about the man. None of it benefits the man. I'm not trying to go to the bandwagon with manosphere and all that stuff. And some of the stuff I do agree with. Some stuff I understand why they say what they say. I understand that. But just me generally thinking from just an ordinary manhood type situation, my head is spinning right now just by listening to all this stuff. I'd rather not do any of it. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be in a situation to where it does not benefit you. And if it's not benefit you, why are you doing it? Why are we doing it? You living your life for somebody else who don't give a dog about you. At least to a degree that if you feel like you're doing everything by yourself and nothing around you benefits you, there's a problem. There's some reevaluation needs to go on. I don't want to keep this video long, but I just wanted to say that. Maybe you got some about therapy. Because this just made my head spin. I'm like, man, it maybe reminds me of a past life. You feel me? Let's go ahead and see exactly what's going on. Let's see what the rest is, what they're going to say.
How hard it is to fund a lifestyle of $150,000, how many hours it takes weekly to work. You don't have spare time. Most of the folks who earn this type of money work in excess of 55 hours a week, and they are tired. They are high energy, highly driven individuals who push themselves to the limit. So after going to the gym, after going to work, they want to come home and get something to eat. They may be boring to you, but they are supplying you with the lifestyle that you want. But this is the fairy tale, beautiful lives, words of El Guapo ethos of the modern women that they can't get over. Ma'am, you cannot have it all. If he had all the time in the world, he'd probably be broke because he wouldn't be on his purpose or doing anything. This is the way the world turns. Take it in, take a deep breath, and understand. Having it all is a dream sold by Cosmopolitan magazine, and it never existed. You just fell for the marketing. And if it did exist, it doesn't exist for you. Thanks. You dig?
How did you know that you were in love with Michelle?
Early relationships go through phases. You know, there's the initial burst of, man, oh, she's fine, she's cute, she's funny, you know, we're clicking. right? And you have that kind of quick initial burst. You wake up, you're thinking about her, right? And you kind of, man, I want to talk to her again today. I'm not going to be playing those games where let me let 3 days pass and then I'm going to call you. No, I'm going to call today. So
Did y'all write each other letters back in the day?
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we did actually.
No, I want you to notice the contrast that when Barack Obama has an opportunity to talk about his relationship with Michelle, he never says anything negative. I've never heard him mention one negative thing about this relationship in public. You see, men aren't allowed to complain. We're not allowed to voice our opinion in public, because if we did so, then it would be out of pocket. But when a woman does it, all the sisterhood of traveling, I told you so, he wasn't all that, surrounds him and gets all up in arms with him and feeds the fire that, oh, this man, you could have did just a little better, or he should have did this or did that. Newsflash, you couldn't have did better than the president of the United States. You've reached the pinnacle. But this is common of the natural modern day woman. So blind and not understanding that when you have it good, you have it good. And when you have it bad, you think that it could be better. You're never.
That is true. She reached the pinnacle. She had the president. And she's still I think with them, she probably, if she said she didn't like him for 10 years, that means that at least over half of that presidency, depends how young the kids were, she was not happy the whole time. You know what I'm saying? So now I think she's reached her breaking point, which is unfortunate, because when you're in a position like that in this life, that's what you signed up for. You can't be getting divorced and doing all these other stuff that you still got to keep face. You know what I'm saying? Some people know how to do that. That's just what it is, unfortunately. So it's not normal life type stuff. Even though you're not in the White House, you're still not normal life type stuff. You still got to have Secret Service people and all that stuff around you, you know. Seclusion is, you know, you can't just do what you want to do when you want to do it by yourself. That's just what it is. And when she said yes to the dress and yes to the ring, she also said yes to whatever that man's vision was. And she still has to say yes. That's just what it is.
Never satisfied. Accountability is 360, and your greed and your lust for everything leads most of you to having nothing. And this is no political side of anything. I have no interest in those conversations here. What this is about is how the modern woman can have everything, have the perfect situation, and still find a way to publicly complain about her man. So it's no wonder why she felt so comfortable not going to these public appearances, not traveling with him, letting him go solo, because she felt that she would be a hypocrite if she went to these situations. But sometimes adults have to do things that they don't want to do to get done what they need to do.
Right.
Seems like somebody would have told her by now. You dig?
Right.
I'm talking in public. I'll be like, uh-oh, here it come. Separation talk. What that say?
Aloha Corey presidential etiquette. All the living presidents showed up out of solidarity as a commander-in-chief. The first lady is seen and not heard. Bill Burr mentioned that.
What does that mean? I heard. What is that? Oh, I think he's trying to say the first lady of all the presidents are to be seen and not heard.
Right.
Aloha Corey presidential etiquette. All the living presidents showed up out of solidarity as a commander-in-chief.
For the country.
The first lady is seen and not heard. Bill Burr mentioned that.
Well,
I get what you're saying, but where is the sister?
Facts.
That's what I would say. Can somebody get a location where she was, where Backdoria was there by himself?
I don't think they've given an explanation yet, because
you don't send your people out in public to look stupid.
Right.
Let me say this. The girl who you really hold up in the air is the one that shows you
who she
integrity and that she with you.
Right. Yeah.
That's the one you supposed to hold up in the air.
Right.
The rest of them gotta find a spot.
Right.
I learned a lot about women. I think I learned exactly how the fall of man occurred in the Garden of Eden. Adam and Eve were in the Garden of Eden, and Adam said one day, wow, Eve, here we are, one with nature, one with God, we'll never age, we'll never die, and all our dreams come true the instant that we have them. And Eve said, yeah, it's just not enough, is it?
No, that's not funny.
I was just waiting for more. so that was kind of his point. That's kind of what he was saying.
I did some research. I found out that most women never marry the man they really want to be with. Oh, I'm about to mess up the church's money, ain't it? Let me tell you, this is how I figured it out. Let me tell you something you've never heard a man say since you've been alive. You've never heard a man say this since you've been on this planet. You've never heard a man say, she grew on me. But every woman knows a woman who would say in front of the man she loved, committed to God, financed the wedding and his family. When I first met him, he was not my type at all. He was short. He was going bald. He had little small hands. I don't like men with small hands, but I mean, eventually he grew on me. That is the rudest thing to say about a man you spending the rest of your life with. This man grew on you like a scab, like a wart, like eczema,
Thank you for watching the Tip Network. Follow us on all.
Yeah, that was interesting. So, what do you guys think? Think she should have showed up? Are you guys down with that modern day type stuff? I just think I don't mind modern day type stuff. I do not mind it at all. But the whole point is it's a place and a time for it. Support your people, point blank. If you guys like this video, please if you guys liked it, please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video. And this really got on my nerves. But I'm gonna see y'all next video. Also, please subscribe. Subscribe, of course, but also please comment. What do you guys think? You think she should have showed up? Think she was wrong? You think Barack should feel a certain way? You think he does feel a certain way? You know, it was rumors that he was seeing Jennifer Aniston, which was, of course, denied. I don't see how. I've never seen anything like that. Of course, Jennifer Aniston denied it as well too. But unless it's just something truly wrong, I don't know. It's really, of course, we're just outside looking at it. It's really not for us to have that deep of a concern, but just maybe have conversation around it. And that's basically all we're doing. Of course, it's for entertainment purposes only. So, for the next entertainment, I'll see you guys next video. Peace.